Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Battle Through the Heavens based on novel. So let's start. From this, one could gain an understanding of just how terrifying the body of the 9 mysterious golden lightning was. However, everything required to increase one's lower also carried a risk. If there was a high risk involved, a greater reward would naturally follow. Even if Xiao Yan did not use the 9 mysterious golden lightning to break through to the 6th star of the Doshin class, after absorbing it, just having it in his hands meant that Xiao Yan would possess a killing weapon against an opponent who had reached the 7th star of the Doshin class. The temptation that came from such a powerful weapon caused Xiao Yan's calm heart to pound despite the risks that accompanied it. Although Xiao Yan's strength had reached the peak level within the continent, his opponents were not ordinary beings. Having another trump card in his hand was equivalent to having another life. It is really the case of seeking treasures from danger. Xiao Yan slowly withdrew the excitement within his heart. His eyes continued to flicker as he glanced around the deepest part of the lightning sea. After hesitating within his heart for a short moment, he finally made up his mind. He would act if he found an opportunity, but if it was still extremely difficult to subdue the 9 mysterious golden light in its weakened state, he could only choose to withdraw. Xiao Yan focused his mind after making his decision. His eyes swept over the many lightning arcs that were exploding on the enormous body of the golden lightning dragon deep in the Sea of Lightning. While the 9 mysterious goldening lightning was emitting a miserable roar, the surrounding black demon lightning began to flee into the distance. At this moment, they did not even feel like chasing Xiao Yan. Instead, they stayed 10,000 feet away from the 9 mysterious golden lightning. Even though they did not possess any intelligence, their instincts told them that the 9 mysterious golden lightning was experiencing an extremely critical moment. Crackle! A golden bolt of lightning, that was 1/5 the 9 mysterious golden lightning ruthlessly exploded on the surface of its body. A golden lightning arc filled with an exterminating strength wildly wiggled. This retaliation explosion caused even something as strong as the 9 mysterious golden lightning to struggle. However, some spirituality began to slowly rise within the dragon's icy-cold emotionless eyes. This caused it to appear to have gained a little more life, and to no longer appear as cold as a statue like it did earlier. Xiao Yan involuntarily licked his lips upon witnessing this change. It was unexpected that this 9 mysterious golden lightning had to endure such a ferocious retaliation in order to form a spirit, but if it was able to endure, it would likely become quite a terrifying existence in the future. There were all sorts of mysteries in this world. An example was the Bodhisattva ancient tree. It might only be an ancient tree, but at its peak, it was rumored to have even exchanged blows with an elite Dodi. Similarly, the Bodhisattva ancient tree did not possess much intelligence. The stronger a natural spiritual object was, the more difficult it was for it to form a spirit. This was the case for the Bodhisattva ancient tree, and it was no different for the 9 mysterious golden lightning. Bang bang. After a spiritual aura rose within the eyes of the 9 mysterious golden dragon, the retaliation within its body became even more intense. A thunder-like explosion reverberated from its body. Each terrifying explosion caused Xiao Yan's scalp to numb. Against these wild and violent explosions, the spirituality within the 9 serene golden lightning dragon's eyes was scattered. What a terrifying backlash! No wonder the Bodhisattva ancient tree is unable to form a spirit. If it does, there is no telling just how frightening the retaliation force would be. Xiao Yan felt speechless as he watched the spiritual aura within the eyes of the 9 mysterious golden lightning blast apart. From the looks of it, this 9 mysterious golden lightning might not succeed in forming a spirit. The surrounding black demon lightning beings seemed to have also sensed this through their instincts, while this thought flashed through Xiao Yan's heart. A mysterious sound of sadness was emitted from the Sea of Lightning. Countless bolts of black demon lightning gathered together and pounced toward the 9 mysterious golden lightning. The many arcs of black demon lightning turned into tiny black electric sparks that invaded the 9 mysterious golden lightning's body upon contact. After their entry, the intense explosions happening in the body of the 9 mysterious golden lightning seemed to have weakened. It seemed as though these black demon lightning beings were using themselves to block the retaliation explosions happening within the body of the 9 mysterious golden lightning. The spirituality, within the eyes of the 9 mysterious golden dragon, became denser, as many black demon lightning beings pounced over. At the same time, its originally bright golden body dimmed. The retaliation forces had caused it to grow weaker. Roar! The bolts of black demon lightning deep within the sea of lightning became even crazier, while the 9 mysterious golden lightning let out a sharp miserable roar. They fearlessly charged into its body, but as the spirituality within the 9 mysterious golden lightning's eyes became denser, the explosions happening within the dragon's body became even more uncontrollable. The exterminating ripples that dispersed from it caused even Xiao Yan in the distance to feel afraid. Looks like this big fellow is about to fail. Being a non-related party, Xiao Yan appeared quite calm. His eyes swept over before he shook his head. The retaliation explosions that had been unleashed within the 9 mysterious golden lightning's body had soared many times over. According to this trend, the bolts of black demon lightning were unable to suppress the lightning explosions regardless of how they pounced over. Once they failed to suppress these forces, the intelligence and spirit that the 9 mysterious golden lightning had formed after much difficulty would be blasted apart. Xiao Yang softly sighed after clearly envisioning the end. The 9 mysterious golden lightning had been formed after an unknowingly long period of time. It was indeed a pity for it to fail to form a spirit. The heavens might have blessed it with great strength, but they had also deprived it of other rights. Bang bang bang. The 9 mysterious golden lightning appeared dim, as it lay deep in the sea of lightning. Its body, which appeared to be made of gold, had also become a lot more illusory. It no longer had the ability to resist such a frightening backlash. The surrounding black demon lightning being ceased charging forward, when the 9 mysterious golden lightning deflated into the lightning sea as though it had accepted its fate. They lingered around the dragon and emitted deep whines. Their voices were filled with misery. Xiao Yang sighed after watching the 9 mysterious golden lightning weaken. The dragon was no longer able to cause him to feel the danger he had felt earlier. The spiritual formation has failed. Xiao Yang shook his head. He stepped through empty space and rushed down. After which, he appeared deep within the sea of lightning. He looked at the 10,000-foot large golden lightning dragon from close proximity. The dragon was looking at him with a pair of extremely dim eyes. It did not launch any attacks. Whine. However, the black demon lightning beings furiously rushed over when Xiao Yang had barged in again. They whistled and charged over, but little Yi rose from Xiao Yang's shoulder. Only then did these charging bodies came to a halt, as though they were extremely afraid of the baby. Give me your strength, and I will help you form a spirit. Xiao Yang's body floated in front of the 9 mysterious golden lightning. His tiny body was just like an ant. However, his calm voice caused the dim dragon eyes of the 9 mysterious golden lightning to fluctuate. Great strength is the biggest obstacle to the formation of your spirit. Xiao Yang's hand gently pressed on a dragon scale in front of the 9 mysterious golden lightning eyes. Immediately, a pink flame surged from his finger. After which, he violently pulled. A bright golden lightning glow was immediately pulled out of the 9 mysterious golden lightning's body. The golden lightning vaguely gathered into a giant lightning dragon. The extraction was unexpectedly smooth. One reason was that the 9 mysterious golden lightning was extremely weak. The second was that it did not retaliate even a little, as though it had understood Xiao Yang's words. In order to possess intelligence, it was willing to abandon its strength. It was already tired of this kind of blurry feeling of existence. What a terrifying destructive force. The pink flame on Xiao Yang's palm soared. It transformed into a huge fire net that firmly restrained the golden lightning dragon. This was the strength within the 9 mysterious golden lightning's body. The destructive properties inside had greatly exceeded Xiao Yang's expectations. Even his body would explode if he were to absorb this destructive energy. Roar! The golden lightning dragon wildly struggled within the fire net. It wanted to escape, but it clearly did not possess the ability to do so without being driven by someone or something. Seal. Xiao Yang slid his finger across the air in front of him and a bloodline flew out. After which, a formation swiftly formed on the fire web. A fire glow shook and the fire net, which had wrapped around the golden dragon, began to rapidly shrink. Finally, it turned into a miniature lightning dragon that entered Little Yi's body. This destructive strength was something that only Little Yi's fire spirit could endure. Xiao Yang only sighed in relief after completing this task. His eyes returned to the 9 mysterious golden lightning in front of him. Since its strength had been extracted, it had turned into a 100-foot-large golden dragon. Xiao Yang's hand gently rubbed the dragon head of this 9 mysterious golden lightning. His hand formed a seal, and the spiritual aura around him swiftly gathered before turning into a spiritual seed that slowly entered the body of the 9 mysterious golden lightning. Currently, the 9 mysterious golden lightning was only an existence equivalent to a dozun. There was no retaliation, as its spirit formed at this moment. Xiao Yang smiled when he saw the spiritually soaring within the dragon eyes of the 9 mysterious golden lightning. Obtaining intelligence was only too easy after giving up its power. In the future, you will be the only 9 mysterious golden lightning that possesses intelligence in this world. Xiao Yang once again patted the 9 mysterious golden lightning. After which, he suddenly turned around. His body turned into a bright light that rushed out of the lightning pool. The dragon eyes of the 9 mysterious golden dragons studded the back of the figure flying away from the deep lightning pool. At this moment, it was just like a small beast that had just been born. It firmly remembered the first person it had seen and would never forget him. A bright light shot over from the lightning pool in the empty realm. It escaped the lightning pool within a couple of flashes. After which, a figure turned around and looked back. He only quietly sighed in relief after verifying no unusual changes had occurred behind him. This human figure was naturally Xiao Yang, who had quickly left after obtaining the strength of the 9 mysterious golden lightning. The process of obtaining the energy had been unexpectedly smooth, so the burden weighing on his heart was only removed now that he had successfully left the lightning pool. A joy that could not be hidden surged within his eyes. He had obtained a rich reward during this trip to the lightning pool. Not only had he successfully strengthened the Northern King until it was comparable to a 6-star Do Xing, he had even leaped from the initial level of the 5th star of the Do Xing class to the advanced level of the 5th star of the Do Xing class. Of course, the greatest reward was the destructive force that he had removed from the 9 mysterious golden lightning. Xiao Yang lifted his hand. The pink flame churned and Little Yi appeared in a flash. At this moment, its small flabby hands had gained a golden dragon symbol. A destructive force, which caused one's skin to turn numb, rippled and spread from this symbol. Yi-wa, Little Yi's bright large eyes furiously gal-red at Xiao Yang. His mouth emitted a tender cry. He was a little upset that Xiao Yang had actually sealed such a dangerous thing within his body. It should be known that the strength of the 9 mysterious golden lightning was something that even the purifying demonic lotus flame had difficulty refining. Additionally, this strength was arrogant and untamable. It would explode if one were careless. At that time, one would really end up suffering. Relax, everything is fine, Xiao Yang laughed. He rubbed Little Yi's head and comforted him. After which, he examined the golden dragon symbol with an expression of contemplation. Even though he knew that this symbol contained an extremely vast and mighty energy, he felt as though he did not know what to do with it. The energy within it was filled with an extremely rich extermination force. Even an elite 7-star Do Xing would not dare to absorb it. Even less needed to be said for him. It is extremely difficult to refine this thing even by relying on Little Yi's purifying demonic lotus flame. It seems that I can only temporarily place it in Little Yi's body, and use the demonic flame to constantly refine it. I do not believe that I cannot do anything to it. Xiao Yang made up his mind after musing for a moment. He quickly swung his hand and returned Little Yi to his body. Temporarily keeping this thing might not be a bad decision. It would help out if he were to suddenly find himself in a lot of trouble. I have been away for so long. I should return to the Dragon Island first. A thought passed through Xiao Yang's mind. The green-red bone wings on his back spread. His wings were flapped and his body rushed into the horizon of the nothingness like a falling star with lightning-like speed. By the time Xiao Yan had returned to the Dragon Island, the completely new island had caused him to feel a little shocked and startled. Numerous mountains stood on the vast island. Occasionally, some enormous ancient void dragons would fly next to the lingering clouds. Deep dragon roars continuously reverberated around the Dragon Island. The current Dragon Island was the combination of the 4 great dragon islands. Not only was it huge, it was also the first time that such a large number of tribe members had gathered together within the last few thousand years. These tribe members had been segregated to the 4 islands in the past and seldom had the opportunity to appear in the same place. Xiao Yang's figure was suspended high in the air. His spiritual perception swept across the island and a brow was involuntarily lifted. From his senses, there were nearly 10 elite Doshings on the Dragon Islands, not any weaker than the Sky Mansion Alliance. It is indeed worthy of being the ancient Void Dragon tribe. Even though it has yet to recover its peak strength, it still cannot be underestimated by others. It seems that the claim that the ancient Dragon tribe could contend against an ancient clan, like the Jiyu clan, or the Hun clan, at its peak was not empty words. Xiao Yang praised and nodded. The 4 great Dragon Islands had many experts to begin with. Although many had died undergoing the Great Unification, there were not many losses in terms of the peak Doshing. Now that the 4 great Dragon Islands had reunited, all of these experts naturally submitted to Zi Yang. This lineup was naturally quite impressive. By just relying on this lineup, it was likely that no one could challenge the ancient Void Dragon's position in the magical beast world. Even the current Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe would have some difficulty challenging them. Xiao Yang naturally felt a great joy in his heart since the ancient Void Dragon tribe was able to retain such strength. Given his relationship with Zi Yang, the relationship between the Sky Mansion Alliance and the ancient Void Dragon tribe would also be quite tight. With the secret aid of the ancient Void Dragon tribe, the position of the Sky Mansion Alliance would become extremely steady and unshakable. The guards in the air above the Dragon Island patrolled the sky more frequently than before. Section after section of ancient dragon guards flapped the dragon wings on their backs, overlapping as they patrolled the island. Xiao Yang, who was floating in the sky and feeling amazed at the change of the Dragon Island, was also detected by them. Immediately, a dozen-plus figures swiftly flew toward him, but the caution on their faces quickly became respectful after discovering Xiao Yang's identity. They bowed to Xiao Yang from some distance away before withdrawing. Their respectful actions caused Xiao Yang to smile. His body moved and rushed down to the Dragon Island. Within a couple of flashes, he had appeared in a quiet courtyard. Xiao Yang. The human figure that had suddenly appeared startled Kaylin and Zi Yang in the courtyard. They quickly recovered and cried out in pleasant surprise. Within less than 2 months, the Dragon Island has actually experienced such a drastic change. It seems that you, the Dragon Emperor, have some skill. Xiao Yang looked at Zi Yang and laughed. You have been missing for nearly 2 months. If you had still not come back, we would have ended up dispatching people to the lightning pool in the empty realm to look for you. Zi Yang curled her mouth. She did not display the prestige of the Dragon Emperor in front of Xiao Yang. Her tone was no different than a little girl. Your strength has increased again. Kaylin by the side was extremely perceptive. She sensed Xiao Yang's change the moment he appeared, causing her to cry out in surprise. Advanced 5-star Doshing. I had a lucky encounter within the lightning pool in the empty realm. Xiao Yang smiled, but did not explain the encounter in detail. There was a countless number of black demon lightning beings deep within the lighting pool. An ordinary 4- or 5-star Doshing would not be able to easily charge into it. He did not wish the ancient dragon tribe members to meet a mishap in that place if news of his growth spread. Moreover, the 9 mysterious golden lightning was still there. Although its strength had diminished, it was only a matter of time before it would recover its strength given its mysteriousness. A 9 mysterious golden lightning with intelligence and a strength at the 7th star of the Doshing class was something Xiao Yang would have to flee from as quick as possible. Cai Lin and Zi Yang could only bitterly laugh after Xiao Yan confirmed that his strength had increased. Within less than 2 months, Xiao Yan had leaped from the initial stage of the 5th star of the Doxing class to the advanced level of the 5th star of the Doxing class. This speed was a little too terrifying. Xiao Yan naturally understood their thoughts, but he did not explain anything to them. He had been lucky enough to meet such a large number of black demon lightning beings, and had been able to rely on Little Yi's fire spirit body as a medium to refine and absorb the energy within them, enabling him to significantly strengthen. In other words, this was an opportunity that had been formed from his accumulated luck. Currently, the ancient void dragon is proceeding on the right track. I think that there is nothing for me to do. Hence, I think that it is time for us to return to the alliance. Xiao Yan glanced at Zi Yang and informed her of his thoughts. Are you leaving? Zi Yang frowned upon hearing his words. She nodded a little unwilling and said, it's just as well. The Sky Mansion Alliance has just defeated the Hall of Souls and is in the limelight. It is true that you cannot stay away for long. Additionally, the matter of the tribe joining the alliance has more or less been settled. You should inform the upper echelons of the alliance when you return this time around. Xiao Yang hesitated for a moment after hearing these words. He stared at Zi Yang and said, the ancient dragon tribe has just completed its unification. You should be recuperating during this period of time. There is no need for you to get involved in the mess that is the Central Plains. Xiao Yan clearly understood that forming an alliance with the ancient void dragon tribe would be a good thing for the Sky Mansion Alliance. However, if he thought about the alliance from Zi Yang's perspective, this was not a good decision. The internal conflict within the ancient void dragon tribe had just been resolved. If they chose to recuperate, they would be able to recover much faster. The Sky Mansion Alliance possessed many enemies, including an ultimate faction like the Hun clan. Choosing to form an alliance with the Sky Mansion at this moment would undoubtedly drag the tribe into various messes. The ancient void dragon tribe will always repay all favors. You have saved our ancient dragon tribe from danger twice. Every member of the tribe will never forget your favors. Regardless of what kind of trouble you get into, the ancient void dragon tribe will always be your friend. Zi Yang's pretty eyes looked up to Xiao Yang. The words that came out of her mouth caused Xiao Yang to feel a little stunned and speechless. This was what the elders said. I was merely borrowing their words. The grave expression on Zi Yang's face remained for a moment before it was broken by her saucy smile. Xiao Yang only bitterly laughed after seeing her smile. This girl. Relax, this is a decision the entire tribe has made. Even though I am the Dragon Emperor, I cannot block their decision. This is a reward the ancient void dragon tribe will give to you as a friend. Zi Yang continued to sweetly smile. Xiao Yang could only nod his head since Zi Yang had put it this way. Saying anything more would be putting up an act. At this moment, the Sky Mansion Alliance did indeed need such a powerful ally. Help me thank the various elders. I will definitely return to the Dragon Island in the future if I have the time. Xiao Yang waved his sleeve and a spatial crack appeared beside his body. You can send someone to the Dragon Island if there is anything you need. The ancient dragon tribe will do its best to help you. Zi Yang slightly smiled as she replied. Xiao Yang loudly laughed and nodded. Without adding anything, he stepped forward into the crack. Cai Lin's delicate figure flashed behind him and followed. The spatial crack slowly disappeared after she entered it, leaving behind Zi Yang, who was staring at the disappeared crack at a loss. Xiao Yang felt a different emotion once he returned to the Sky Mansion Alliance. During the few months Xiao Yang had been away, the reputation of the alliance had continued to rise. The alliance had remained humble and patient even after defeating the Hall of Souls, causing many factions to quietly nod in approval. Whether a faction was powerful not only depended on the strength they rebelled against an adversity, it also depended on if they would erode because of success. Fortunately, the alliance had endured their success. Hence, no one doubted their great strength. There had been no news relating to the Hall of Souls during these past few months. The intense friction from the past had suddenly dwindled, as though the faction that had once stood as the overlord of the Central Plains intended to fade away from everyone's sight. The upper echelons of the Alliance remained extremely cautious of the Hall of Souls even though the faction remained quiet. After having exchanged blows with the Hall of Souls for so many years, the upper echelons of the Alliance were well aware of their nature. Hence, no one believed that this mysterious faction would give up so easily after suffering such a loss. However, the thing that caused them to feel some doubt was that they were unable to obtain any useful information, despite sending out large numbers of spies to observe the actions of the Hall of Souls. Thus, the Alliance became more cautious while feeling doubtful. The silence from the Hall of Souls vaguely caused them to feel the pressure of a brewing storm. The little fairy doctor and Qing Lin, who had originally followed Xiao Yan to the Beast region, had also returned by the time Xiao Yan had came back to the Alliance. From what the two ladies knew, he learned that the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe had withdrawn after he left that day. After which, the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe decided to form an alliance with the Sky Mansion after a month of discussion. The Sky Mansion Alliance had gladly agreed to this suggestion after another discussion. Although the strength of the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe could not compare with the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe, it was still one of the 3 large tribes of the magical beast world. Additionally, their numbers far exceeded the people from the tribes like the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. This kind of powerful ally was what the current alliance needed the most. The alliance between both parties had undoubtedly stirred quite a commotion across the Central Plains and the Beast region. Some of the other tribes within the magical beast world, which had gained some ill thoughts toward the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe, had no choice but to suppress their intentions after the alliance was formed. They had heard about the strength of the Sky Mansion Alliance. The only tribe within the Beast region that could compare with the alliance was likely the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe. If the 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe possessed such an ally, its position would become unmovable. At that time, even the Heaven Demon Phoenix tribe would likely not dare to launch a campaign and attack like it had last time. The 9 Serene Deep Ground Python tribe benefited from the alliance, while the alliance's strength once again increased. It was the first time that a faction within the Central Plains had been able to pull one of the 3 great magical beast tribes into an alliance. The reach of the Sky Mansion Alliance had extended to the magical beasts within the Beast region. After returning to the alliance, Xiao Yang had also mentioned to a small number of top individuals that the ancient Void Dragon tribe had agreed to an alliance, causing every expert to rejoice. The ancient Void Dragon tribe was still a relatively mysterious and powerful existence even in the eyes of many people within the Central Plains. The might of the ancient Void Dragon, at its peak, was still etched deep within some people's memories. This alliance was indeed shocking news to the Sky Mansion. This alliance, which would help the Sky Mansion, did not require much of a discussion. It was almost agreed to on the spot. However, this shocking news was ultimately not announced. Keeping such a powerful ally hidden would allow the Sky Mansion Alliance to surprise others. Moreover, this would also allow them to provide the ancient Void Dragon tribe some time to recuperate. Without the provocation of the Hall of Souls, Xiao Yang's life had once again become unusually free after he had returned to the alliance. Kaylin had been in a retreat for many years. Now that she had returned to Xiao Xiao, both mother and daughter remained sweetly pressed together. Xiao Yang felt helpless upon seeing them. He was also unable to interfere in the matters of the alliance. Hence, his days were quite relaxed. During these free days, he spent all of his attention on training and on the 9 mysterious golden lightning energy within Little Yi's body. Xiao Yang coveted this strength, but he did not dare to easily absorb it. Hence, he studied this thing day and night during this period of time, but the 9 mysterious golden lightning did not become any gentler despite tirelessly studying it. Instead, it gradually agglomerated into a fist-sized golden lightning bead, as Little Yi refined it with the purifying demonic lotus flame. This golden lightning bead floated above Little Yi's right hand after it was formed. Regardless of what methods Xiao Yang or Little Yi used, they were unable to refine it. Using the purifying demon lotus flame to fiercely burn it basically did nothing. Xiao Yang felt extremely helpless in the face of such a situation. All he could do was give up on such thoughts, before allowing the golden lightning bead to return to little Yi's arm. After Xiao Yang had failed to resolve the issue of the golden lightning bead, he had ended up with even more free time. During this period, he had accepted a mission from Yao Lao, and led a section of experts from the Alliance to reaffirm the locations of the Hall of Souls branch halls that had been found. However, during the month of searching, he had discovered that these branch halls had become empty. The souls and all the soul essence that had been inside was no longer there. The Hall of Souls had probably expected the Alliance to act like this, and had decisively abandoned all the branch halls that had been discovered. Xiao Yang could not do anything more with this situation. After having experienced the matter of the man hall being destroyed back then, it seemed like the Hall of Souls had become wiser. After a series of pointless searches, Xiao Yang destroyed these branch halls before returning with everyone empty-handed. However, Yao Lao faintly smiled because of this result. He was not overly surprised. Based on the information we have obtained, the Hall of Souls has given up any branch halls that we have discovered. The things inside have also been removed. However, the thing that confuses me is why the Hall of Souls has clearly withdrawn even if they are just worried about the Alliance destroying these branch hall. Within a stone pavilion in the Star Realm, Yao Lao looked at Xiao Yang, who had just led a group back, and slowly explained his reasoning. Xiao Yang slightly nodded. Some of the branch halls were extremely small. It was impossible to arouse one's interest and campaign to destroy it, but even these small branch halls had been cleared until only dust remained. They had been cleared a little too much. I have already sent someone to the Beast region to request the 9 serene deep-ground python tribes' help in investigating this matter. They are large in numbers and will have a much easier time investigating things compared to us. There must be a hidden motive for the Hall of Souls, Yao Lao informed Xiao Yang in a deep voice. There is definitely a reason for anything abnormal. This Hall of Souls. I wonder just what they are planning to do. Xiao Yang frowned. He could vaguely sense that the motive of the Hall of Souls this time around was quite important. It is pointless to engage in random guesswork. We should wait for the final results of the investigation. Yao Lao shook his head. The feeling of only being able to wait was indeed terrible. Xiao Yang nodded. He suddenly glanced at Yao Lao as he softly inquired, "Teacher, the medicinal ceremony of the Yao clan is about to begin, right?" Yao Lao's hand, which had just lifted a teacup, suddenly trembled upon hearing these words. He was quiet for a moment before nodding. In 1 month. Yao Lao's expression became complicated after he replied. He had never returned after he had left the clan back then. Now, he needed to return again. Before both his parents had died, he had promised to train with great effort, and carve both of their names onto the clan tablet. The clan tablet was for meritorious service within the Yao clan. Only those within the clan, who possessed great achievements, could leave their names on it. All the members of the Yao clan viewed this as their life's goal. This was no different for Yao Lao back then. Yao Lao had been roaming the continent alone for many years. Although he had obtained some achievements, he understood that it would not be easy for him to fulfill the promise he made to both of his parents after returning to the Yao clan. Some of those fellows within the Yao clan would definitely do their best to stop him. Yao Lao's hands, which were holding the teacup, slowly clenched after thinking about them stopping him. Xiao Yang smiled when he saw Yao Lao's complicated expression. He said, "Teacher, you can do as you like with the clan tablet. Leave everything else to this disciple." Xiao Yang's voice slowly became calm, but it contained an intense confidence and his determination. When he had been a youth back then, Yao Lao had spread his wings to carefully protect the baby eagle-like youth. The tender eagle had gradually grown during on its journey and had soared to the sky. Beneath this tender eagle's wings, no one would be able to hurt his teacher, who was in his twilight years. Yao Lao's eyes felt moist as he looked at the smiling young man. The pleased expression on his face became even denser. He widened his mouth before finally sighing a soft, helpless sigh, "You stubborn little fellow." Xiao Yang smiled. He lifted his head and looked at the southern sky. The Yao clan was rumored to have the best alchemist within the continent. He really wanted to personally experience. This video will end here.